Hey guys, it's Jeremy here on Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What do you have for today, guys, is the next installment of my top 10 albums of each year. If you're new to the channel, what I've been doing is starting back in 1970, where metal all began, and working my way through the years chronologically, picking my top picks. So if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe and join the family, and definitely check out my playlist for the other years I've done previously. So this will wrap up the 90s. We're up to 1999. And I just wanted to go give my top 10 picks. At number 10, I have the debut from Black Label Society, Sonic Brew. I really enjoy this band. Got a cool sound, kind of southern rock, mixed with groove metal, heavy metal riffing, and I just really enjoy their albums. Really good stuff. At number 9, I have Sodom's Code Red. It's their ninth studio album. Really solid stuff. Love Sodom. In my opinion, they don't have a weak album in their discography. This one is an underrated album in my opinion. And they're just balls out heavy thrash. Their early stuff is just really, really aggressive and really good band. At number 8, I have In Flames with Colony. Fucking love In Flames. I like all eras of In Flames. Most people only like the older stuff and kind of said they sold out when they changed their sound into the 2000s and stuff. I really enjoy those albums still for what they are. I like all of their material, to be honest with you. But their old stuff is definitely the best, and this is a killer album. Definitely one of my favorites from them. And at number 7, I have Amon Amarth with The Avenger. You'll definitely see these guys pop up going forward pretty frequently. I was really into this band in music in general, and some of these other bands like In Flames, etc., and other bands that'll come up soon. But I love the Avenger album, really solid stuff. Their second album, were just really good, melodic death metal, Viking theme metal. I love the guy's voice, the lead singer. It sounds really good, suits the music really well, and it's just that fist in the air, like conquering a town, Viking kind of stuff. It's really good stuff. Definitely check them out. At number 6, I have Catatonia's fourth studio album entitled Tonight's Decision. Really love this band. They really capture that depressive atmospheric metal, and no one does it better than Catatonia. And this is a great album, really good artwork, and like the songs, you have to be in the mood to listen to these guys, but they hit just right if you are. And their new album was killer as well from this year. Definitely check these guys out if you're not familiar with them. At number 5, I have Children of Bodom, Hatebreeder. One of my favorite albums from these guys. I was really into Children of Bodom and still am. Still listen to them quite a bit. Rest in peace. Alexei died way too young. Killer talent and great band. One of the few metal bands that really incorporated keyboards really well. And I always loved their sound. I was into these guys a lot in the early 2000s. Listened to them like a lot. Definitely was one of my favorite bands, and still is to this day. And at number 4, I have Immortal. A little odd for me because I'm not a black metal guy, but there's a few bands I really enjoy, and Immortal's definitely one of them. I just like the more original black metal scene. I just like that sound more than the newer stuff. This is their 5th studio album entitled At the Heart of Winter. Probably my favorite Immortal album, or top 2 or 3 at least. I really like this album. I listen to it quite a bit. Even still, and killer black metal band, one of the originals, and I don't have to really say much more. You guys already know this album. And at number 3, I put Merciful Fate's last studio album to date, entitled 9, their 7th studio album. Killer album. Merciful Fate doesn't have a weak album in my opinion either. This is definitely one of my favorites in their discography. And I'm really excited for them to release new material finally after over 20 years. I've heard they've been working on it for years, and I'm hoping it might be this year or next year, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. And number 1 and 2, I kind of struggled what to put where. I love both of these albums. It's probably 2 of my top 20 albums of all time. I love both of these. I listen to them like weekly, and I couldn't decide what to put where, but I finally just landed. And I put Opeth's Still Life at number 2. It's their 4th studio album. One of my favorite album covers of all time. I really have to get a shirt of that. And it's just a killer album. I love Opeth. It's my favorite metal band. And this is definitely one of my favorite albums from them. Not my favorite overall, but definitely probably top 3 or 4. Just a killer progressive death metal album. And you have to listen to this album if you haven't already. It's definitely an experience and heavy, but beautiful at the same time. Just killer stuff. Which means at number 1, I put Testament's 8th studio album, The Gathering. One of my top 3 Testament albums of all time. Love this band. It's my favorite thrash band of all time. Killer discography all the way through. This is easily one of my favorite from them. This one and The New Order are probably like 1 and 2. They're really close. Legacy's up there too. But this is the album that had Dave Lombardo on drums for one album, and then he left again, and then he's now back for the newer stuff. But just a killer album, great production, killer songs. It just, everything about this album just clicked. And it's one of the best thrash albums of all time, in my opinion. Okay, guys, well, that's my list for 1999. Let me know down below what you would put for 1999, what your picks would be. Maybe I missed a couple albums. But yeah, hopefully I'll be doing the video for the year 2000 coming up in the next week or two. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, guys, keep it metal.